प्रजापालः स जिंगासति वै प्रजा तथापि स्वान्त्व एमामुम् स्मास्तपातकं कृषे। माताजी निरूपिता प्रजापाल स जिंगासति वै प्रजा तथापि स्वान्त एमामुम् नास्मास्तत्प्रातकं स्पृशेत्। निरूपितः appointed, प्रजापालः the king, सह he, jigam sati desire to harm, why certainly, prajaha the citizens, tathapi nevertheless, santva vema we should specify amum him na not asman us tat his pratakam pratakam sinful result say may touch. Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We appointed this Vena king of the state in order to give protection to the citizens. But now he has become the enemy of the citizens. Despite all these discrepancies, we should at once try to pacify him. By doing so, we may not be touched by sinful result caused by him. Purport: the saintly sages elected King Vena to become a king, but he approved to be mischievous. Therefore, the sages were very much afraid of incurring sinful reactions. The law of karma prohibits a person even to associate with mischievous individual. By electing a Vena to the throne, the saintly sages certainly associated with him. Ultimately, King Vena became so mischievous that the saintly sages actually became afraid of becoming contaminated by his activities. That before taking any actions against him, the sages tried to pacify and correct him so that he might turn from his mischief. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhavetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Hitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuva Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So with your prayers and blessings, we are speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, the characteristics of King Vena specially, that in this particular translation and purport we are seeing that these sages are directly telling this Vena that you take this throne. So we saw in the case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was rejecting the association of Prataprudra because he thought that Prataprudra is the king. He's always decorated with or always associated with the people who always talk about the money, money, money in their life. And King, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, completely rejected outwardly. He was knowing the heart of Pratap Rudra, but by his example, Mahajana Enagata Sapanta, he's showing entire world that how much we have to associate with such a personalities. And recently, I was hearing from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is telling the indulgence in sense gratification is not so danger. But if you are indulged with such personality who always talk about the opposite gender, that is very much, danger. He was saying, and Prabhupada using one word, more word, that one, the sannyasis or brahmachari, they should be very strict while associating with those personality who are controlled by the opposite gender. That was the statement. And I was talking to, we had a very big discussion with Sham Kishore Prabhu just 2 weeks back before I went to Vrindavan Kartik Yatra on this particular topic from Prabhupada. so, so here, but one may think that why these sages are involved here. If Vena has such a characters like he's not abide by or not following the Vedic injunction, then why these sages are involved here? So sometimes time, place, comes circumstances, the sages has to take certain decision. Because Bhagavatam start with those auspicious questions, because sages, they are not worried about their own upliftment. They always worried about the upliftment of the common people in general. And that was the first question of Srimad Bhagavatam out of those 6 questions. And here also they have, now after the Anga, they had that anxiety that who will rule the kingdom. Entire kingdom, there will be havoc in entire kingdom if there is no proper ruler. And their intention was, at least Prabhuji was nicely yesterday, explaining on the point, our Bhagavad Acharya Prabhu, he was telling that, sometimes such a personalities, having no inclination toward Krishna consciousness, sometimes responsibilities are given. If responsibilities are given, abhi to sudhrega, we say in Hindi. At least now he will think, because now responsibility have come. Now at least I will, do something. I remember, staying in student center for several years in, we used to call Mayapur base in, near Bharati Vidyapit, Pune. So certain students, they have given responsibility within 6 months, they become OC of the base. OC means overall coordinator. They have to take care of the dealing with the person whom we are renting the flat. They have to take care of whether we can buy the flat in the future. All these things they have to deal. And they were not coming for a morning program, sometime. Though Naresham was so strict, sometime it happened. But when the responsibility is given, my God, they completely change. And they were having nice sadhana. I saw within 1 year, complete change. Sometimes the initiated devotees were not given the responsibilities, but the new devotees, like there was one Prabhu, Nagabhushan Prabhu, he did a wonder in Pune. If you go to Pune and ask someone who is that person who brought many people, they will tell you Nagabhushan Prabhu. He enrolled many people in the courses, and he made sure that every preacher get some opportunity to preach this new crowd. And wonderful. He was not initiated for many years, and he did wonder actually. He's from South Indian, very short personality, but I mean, when responsibilities are given, the people come with the flying colors in Krishna consciousness. So that's what these sages thought, abhi to sudhrega, isko kuch to responsibility deni chahiye. So that's what they gave responsibility to Vena. So we should not reject people, when there is a opportunity of rectification. Even when Lord killed the demon, also, or there is a peace negotiation with Duryodhan, Krishna gave some chance. Abhi to Duryodhan sudhrega, and there is a peace negotiation, and we can avoid the war. So that was intention of Krishna. So he did that while killing any demon. So why Krishna kills those demon? Many times, Ram also, he giving so many opportunities to other people so that they will rectify. Krishna is giving so many opportunities, but now there is no other options than only Krishna killing the demon or Ram killing the demon. So these opportunities are given here. So if we go back, trace the history of this Vena in previous chapter, So Anga was a pure devotee. Bhagavatam says Anga was a pure devotee, but he married with the personality Sunita. This is another Sunita. We saw one Sunita, Suniti, Radha Govinda Maharaj said, who's Niti, who has a values in her life and who can guide her son according to those values, because her life is driven by the values. And that was Suniti. So sometimes parenting doesn't mean, in that paragraph, Maharaj, I was hearing while cleaning the altar from Radha Govinda Maharaj. So he was elaborating the meaning of Suniti. He spoke half an hour about one word about Suniti. He was telling parenting is not all about, dumping so many things within the kids. The parenting about, show them what is a Vaishnava etiquette, Vaishnava behavior to them. Sometimes we see the two kids fight for mics. Sometimes you saw, right? While Shoka recitation, they fight for the mics. So we should teach our kids. It is not about fighting for the mics, but we have to encourage other person. That is the Vaishnava etiquette. So one should not be very much bother about how much they are, taking up like extra, which is exhibited externally. But the thing required is how much they are deep into their Krishna consciousness and how they give chance to other, opportunity to other. If these values are not given at the beginning of Krishna consciousness, it is very difficult. Initially we saw with some student, if 6 months you are not giving them proper program of Vaishnava etiquette, after 10 years or 9 years or 5 years also, it is so difficult to tell the same thing to them, because the 6 years are habit forming years in Krishna consciousness. So here, we are talking about the pure devotee Anga and Sunita. So Sunita was a daughter of Mrityu, who is a Yamaraj. But Sunita, she said, what she did, we said, yad yad acharati shrestha. We have to take the good qualities from the acharyas, and that is the acharya. But Sunita, what she did, she externally observed her father who is giving punishment, and she took only that portion without knowing the intention of father, because Yama is appointed for giving punishment, and that is the duty of Yama to give the punishment. But Sunita only took the external thing from her father, and she also started punishing people, So, and this young, and because in one part of Yamaraj is cruelty. One day, Gaurang Prabhu was telling, when I give Bhagavatam class, people appreciate me saying, you are like a Shukadev Goswami. But when I do management, people will come to me and say, you are like a Yamaraj. So he was telling jokingly, but it's true that Yamaraj has to punish people, because that is his duty. He will not incur the sinful reaction by doing that, or there is no Vaishnava offense for Yamaraj, So sometimes, yeah. So this Anga, he was performing various sacrifices to get the son. But in that sacrifices, no demigods were coming. No demigod. Because, so some of the priests of the sacrifice, he told him, because devatas are not coming. Why? Because you did something wrong in your previous life. And that is a problem. Then Anga started worshipping Hari. And by the mercy of the Hari, the Anga got his son Vena. And that is Anga's part, that contribution from both the side. Mother's side and father's side. So this is side of father. Now looking at the side of mother, so this mother, she was like Sumita, the daughter of the Mrityu, and only imitating the father. She was giving punishment to any ordinary person also. So one day, what happened? There is one Gandharva called Shashanka, and he was worshipping Mother Saraswati for the good knowledge. And he was in deep meditation. And this lady came, Sunita, and she started disrupting that meditation. She was creating so many problems, disturbance in the meditation. So he said, please, you can come tomorrow, but please don't disturb me, in this meditation. So she did not listen. And then again she came next day, and he started taking one whip in the hand and started beating this personality with the whip. Chabuk se marne lagi, this person. because he thought, my father is also punishing, I will also punish this personality. And unnecessarily, she was punishing these ordinary people. And she started beating this personality, Shashanka. And Shashanka pronounced one curse. He said that, you will, because you are a cruel, you will give birth to the cruel son. And now here the father Anga, who is a pure devotee, and here the mother, you know, Sunita, who is like a personification of cruelty, and with their both of their combination, the cruel personality Vena has to take birth now, and Vena has born. And King Anga, as a father, as a very responsible father, he tried all the means, all the means so that the Veda will purify, the rectify his existence, but there is no use. And when such a thing happened, he pronounced two sentences. He said, Srimad Bhagavatam, in Shloka it is given, Anga Maharaj, try good education, discipline, everything, And finally he said one thing. He said, having, he said, first of all, having bad son is better than not having a son. That was his initial thought process. But he evolved in his thought process. Srimad Bhagavatam is very dynamic. Srimad Bhagavatam talk about the evaluation of thought process also. It is not static. The outside people talking about the growth mindset, the agile mindset. So this is what Srimad Bhagavatam, very dynamic. Immediately, the next some conversation it is given, that is Anga thought, better to have bad son than good son. What happens when you have good son, you pamper it and you get too much attached to the good son, and your whole existence will around that son, and you become Krishna conscious, that's good, but only for some good qualities, and we attach to that too much instead of attaching to whom. If it is a bad son, at least we can reject. So with that thought process, this Anga become detached in his life, and he followed the path, because that is, he understood that my constitutional position to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not to entangle in this worldly matter. And that was the Anga, the King Anga. So, so here we see the Vena. Sometime once Bal Govind Prabhu was in Boston, he was conducting some communication courses. How some political leader, it was 2017, so I will not take names of any leader, you will understand indirectly. It was 2017, and he said some ruler, they come on the throne, and without understanding the need of citizen, they started giving hard time to everyone, and the people will suffer without understanding the need. So first thing, they have to gain some popularity at least, some popularity, but without doing that, they just harass the people. If you see the King Vena, the sages appointed him. These are the people who voted him in one sense, in modern scenario. They put their vote in the box. But Vena had not the gratitude for all these sages. So there are so many. Srimad Bhagavatam started with some passages where the people have no gratitude. Mother Draupadi, and she is one of the great role model for me personally, because not only because she was disrobed and nobody helped her, and Krishna came in the form of sari, but another part of Draupadi where entire world is aloof, they are not knowing that when her 5 sons were killed in the sleep, who is that mother who give, who bestow the forgiveness, or we talk about forgiving the son of Brahmana, Ashwathama. So that was Mother Draupadi. The mothers will curse actually if something harm happen. We are too much attached to our kids sometime. I can personally tell my example also. So what happened? Sometimes we are too much attached to kids. When good feedback come from other parent, we are saying, wow, this is good, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, ये Prabhuji अच्छे हैं क्योंकि good feedback is coming about my son from this Prabhuji. And some bad feedback come, we think, Prabhuji अच्छे नहीं है. It happens that I sent my son to Pune after a few years of education in Boston. From the day one, we are getting bad feedback. And Naveen Radharani had a hard time because I was here in Temple, Boston, and she had to deal with all feedback. Hindi ka a bhi nahi aata tha. So many feedback actually. It is not devotional feedback, but so many feedback where Rasaraj is going to so many things. Practically, my mother and wife were crying. I told them one thing. If 3 years you tolerate this feedback, you will see the things will alter, And when people are listening, very easy to say people, when I was away, I was just giving them good guidance, but not part of that process. And his feedback, so many feedback he was getting actually, so many. So one has to the hungry for the feedback for our kids, not only the feedback, pampering feedback from other parents. So we should get genuine feedback. And Rasaraj got so many genuine feedback for that 3 year, and little bit there was an improvement later. I also met his teacher recently in uh, in one of the, I mean, yes, day before yesterday, only 3 days back in Govardhan. The last day, the teacher came to me, and now her perception is completely changed. So we think that, feedback means feedback should come as per my desire, whatever I like. But, we don't think that the feedback should be genuine. When genuine feedback come, we think, अरे ये प्रभु जी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है एक्चुअली, मेरे बेटे के बारे में ऐसा कैसे बोल सकते हैं वो. So one should be ready for that. Then you see your kids, they can, in any reversal, they can withstand actually. If there is so much pampering from the day one, I'm sorry to say, but I saw many kids actually. When small thing come, it will shake their existence. Being the parents are, both parents are, having double initiated, but they get shaken because proper feedback is not given at the proper time, and we were only looking for the, some kind of, pampering from our community. So one should be ready. One should be, actually with folded hand, we have to tell people, give some genuine feedback for my kids, then the things will change. So, here, this Ashwathama, like Vena had no gratitude, and Ashwathama also had no gratitude for Draupadi, So again, he's doing same mistake after some days. He sent Brahmastra to kill the last, the descendants of the dynasty, Pandava dynasty or Kuru dynasty, the Parikshit Maharaj. If he has some gratitude that I killed his son and still Draupadi has forgiven me, otherwise this, Bhima or Arjuna could have smashed me there right away. But, he had no gratitude. So immediately what happened? He sent Brahmastra to kill that progeny. So now I am starting my class. I'm sorry, this was just background, but I will not take much of your time. I want to come to the point of gratitude. Yugal Kishore Prabhu, on the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada, he gave wonderful presentation in front of 10, 12,000 devotees. He was saying that one day he heard from his Guru Maharaj that gratitude is not part of devotion. Gratitude is devotion. And on this part, he elaborated like anything. So many things he talk about Srila Prabhupada, So I thought this is a great subject matter. When it is said that when Krishna, his love for Radharani and all Brajavasis overflow. So Radhanath Maharaj was very elaborately describing that seed of the love, it expanded and it formed the Govardhan hill actually. That was a love actually. Govardhan hill we have to look at. It is not only mountain having so many caves, so many bushes, so many plants, so many animals going there, so many cows. It is not only the form of the Govardhan. The actual form of the Govardhan is love manifested from the heart of Krishna. Before 5,000 years ago also, Govardhan was there, So that's what when Radharani said, if Govardhan, Yamuna, Radha Kunda will there, Sham Kunda will there, I will come here at Vrindavan. But Krishna said they are already there. So that was Krishna. So what happened is, so on the day one of the yatra, I want to repeat few things. If I don't repeat these things, I am just pretender, just to impress the people, bringing some point from Shastra and just presenting. One has to repeat what we heard recently, that makes a sense. Then we can, further, discuss more on that and go deep into that. If I don't repeat what I heard, it is just theoretical for me. So I thought repeat the first day of yatra, which I heard few words from my spiritual master. So so Maharaj was telling that the actual state of any devotee when they enter in Vrindavan is very much important. It is not like buying a ticket, railway ticket is a qualification. He said that, one has to be beggar in the land of Vrindavan. So one may think beggar, so simple to become a beggar. One devotee was telling other devotee, to becoming a beggar is so simple. ISKCON mein pehle suna tha servant. It was so difficult to, use this word servant. Initially, if you tell anyone what you are going to become after doing all these things, to become a servant. और बाद में बताते, not servant, servant of the servant, servant of the servant. One day, one IYF boy, ISKCON Youth Forum Pune, he went to my Guru Maharaj and Diksha was happening. And 4 times he said, I want to become servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of, in the mission of Prabhupada. Immediately Maharaj on the spot changed the name which is on paper. He said, your new name will be Dasanudas. And unfortunately, actually, Dasanudas Prabhu, very young, 25-year-old boy, doing so many services. And, he left his body due to some illness. I was there on his Antyeshti putting a tilak. Very young boy of my age, in Pune this happened. So very enthusiastic devotee, many 20 years back, he passed away from this world. So we can understand how senior a devotee he was, So, so coming to this point, to become a servant, it is very difficult. Servant of the servant. And now we heard very new thing, not servant, to become a beggar. To become a beggar, our bowl should be empty. But in our bowl, sometimes there are so many anarthas, there are so many Vaishnava pradats, and we are entering Vrindavan. So becoming a beggar is also big stage actually. It is not a small thing, becoming a beggar. It is not a casual word to become a beggar. So Prabhupada, when he landed on Boston and he signed, he said that you are insignificant beggar. He did not use the word servant. He used the word insignificant beggar. So when Uddhava he was resembling as good as Krishna. He was looking as good as Krishna, and he was cousin of Krishna. And Krishna wanted to teach him before departing from this world, what is the position of the gopis. And also externally, he wanted to send Uddhava so that they will understand. I will just disconnect this thing. So externally, he wanted that he will pacify the gopis. But when Uddhava came and he saw from the distance the love of gopis from the Krishna, he was completely shattered, Uddhava. And his position, that he came in the position of a beggar. He wanted that I should be that Kulmalata, or at a small, what is that we call? Creeper. Where? At the Uddhav Kund. And Maharaj was telling, Uddhava never thought that after 5,000 years, people will glorify him, that I am become that Kulmalata and 10,000 devotees are discussing about me. Uddhava never thought like that. For that, he never become that small creeper. That was not Uddhava's consciousness. Uddhava was begging that pure devotion from all the gopis. That was his bhava. And then we see the Brahma, after bewilderment from that, Brahma Vimohan Leela also. If you see the prayers of Brahmaji, he want to become a beggar at the land of Vrindavan. And of course, at the Barsana, there is a small Brahmaji's temple at the bottom. So our Yatra leader was telling us that we have to beg forgiveness from Brahmaji, because I am putting my, feet on your head, hey Brahmaji. So there is a temple, one has to beg forgiveness. Brahmaji, please forgive me. I am putting my, sometime with chappal, sometime with, barefoot. We are just stepping on the heads of Brahma to go to the Radharani's village. So one should be very careful. So Brahmaji become a beggar at Vrindavan. So that is the consciousness of Brahmaji. And then there is a Subuddhi Rai. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us, coming in Vrindavan, we have to come in the consciousness of a beggar, servant of the servant. And that is what the Haridasa Varya. So this Haridasa Varya word, first time spoken by Srimati Radharani to Govardhan. And her love about the Govardhan has come out in the form of this word. He is the Haridasa Varya. You know, what is the meaning of Haridasa Varya? Anyone? Huh? Best of the devotees. This Govardhan is the best of the devotees. And this was spoken by Srimati Radharani. So we can understand how this word is important. So the Subuddhi Rai, you know, astrologically, he was completely denied from all astrological people. They said, astrologer, they said, you cannot do anything in your life. You know, somebody was telling that you have to finish your life. If somebody, casual person will come in front of him, there is nothing happening in this life. Everything was reversal. And when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, go to Vrindavan and, approach Vrindavan like a beggar. If you approach Vrindavan like a beggar in that consciousness, then you achieved, the pure devotion of Braja. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him. So Maharaj was telling that sometimes we come to Yatra and we think that this is one of the Yatra, like 2001, 2002, and now 2015. And I attended all the Yatras, I heard all these things. So it is holds good same with the Bhagavatam classes or any services in our Hare Krishna temple. Whatever service we do, we should not do. I have done many times. I have heard this many times. I know this thing. When this I know this thing come, our bowl of that Bhiksha Patra is filled with so many misconceptions already, and with that, then how the pure bhakti of Praja will come in that bowl. So our bowl is not empty actually. If you are approaching Vrindavan in that consciousness. So that's what it means. So this Subuddhi Roy, with proper consciousness, is entering Vrindavan. And later we saw Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, having so many opulences of the world, they just gave up to become a beggar, that was their consciousness, to become just a beggar at the Vrindavan, so this is the highest position actually, begging in the dust of Vrindavan, the pure devotion from the all Brajavasis. Brajavasis are very simple-hearted, very simple-hearted. In our initial yatras, we were getting instruction. One should not make friendship with them, and either should not have enmity with them. Why not friendship? Because we may take them casually. Just by seeing that Brajavasi, smoking some cigar or, working with some garbage, one should not externally judge them. They are very actually, we cannot judge Brajavasis externally. One day, at the last day of Yatra, I told one Brajavasi, because many times I use rickshaw. I said, Prabhu, paisa khatam ho gaya. So just jokingly, I had some money, but I told him. So he said, no problem, Prabhu, मैं आपको free में छोड़ दूंगा ये 2 दिन. So I said, no. They are very simple. But other day he was bargaining like anything. 100 rupees, jahan 10 rupees, was actual cost one day. Before our pandal, it become 10 rupees. So such bargainings are there. So one may think that, oh, so this is Vraja. What I heard about Vrindavan is different, and I am seeing this thing in Vrindavan. So we may externally judge Vrindavan. We should not. So all these acharyas, Bhugarbha Goswami, Lokanath Goswami, and so many, Sada Goswamis of Vrindavan. Sanatana Goswami is the guru of Vrindavan. So many people were telling us that on the day of Guru Purnima, you cannot, take your small bicycles on the road. Why? Because they worship Sanatana Goswami as their guru, and they do pradakshina just to honor Sanatana Goswami. On Govardhan Puja day, you can take your rickshaw also sometime if there is no chain. But Guru Purnima day you cannot do. So that much they honor, Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan. We should know the mood of all these Brajavasis. So the gratitude, whenever gratitude is there, the gratitude is very next to have this consciousness of becoming beggar in the dust of Brajabhumi. If there is no gratitude of anything, gratitude about Srila Prabhupada, the gratitude about devotees around us, then we don't necessarily cultivate that qualities of becoming a beggar. So Maharaj was again and again, using this word, becoming a beggar, becoming a beggar, becoming a beggar, that how it is important actually. So with the small story, I will just conclude. And I like this story. I never heard this story in any other yatras. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and in his commentary, and Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu talk about this story. You know, so Krishna killed one demon, Shalva, in Dwarka. So after killing the demon, there was one more demon attacking at the gate of Mathura, and his name was Dantavakra. Because already Krishna killed Shishupal, and Dantavakra was very restless. He killed my cousin brother, and he wanted to kill Krishna. So Krishna, along with his Daruka, he just at the speed of the mind, Daruka brought Krishna at the gate of the Mathura. And at the gate of Mathura, what happened? Krishna killed this Dantavakra. So before killing Dantavakra, when this Shalava was creating so much trouble in Dwarka, the Nanda, Yashoda, including all the Vrajavasis, they come to know from Narada Muni, because this Shalava is attacked Dwarka and he killed all. So this all Nanda and Nanda Baba, Grohini, Nanda Baba and other Vrajavasis, they were praying to the Narayana for the well-being of Krishna, and they were doing the worship. So that was their consciousness, to protect Krishna. They were not thinking that Krishna is now 125-year-old. For them, Krishna is a cowherd boy, Kana. So they were praying for Krishna's well-being. So now Krishna just killed Dantavakra, and the first time, wonderfully it is described that he entered Mathura after many years. Krishna said, Yad gatva na nivartante. He told us, but Krishna went out and he was externally, he was not in Vrindavan, externally, but he's always in Vrindavan. Actually, he never leave Vrindavan in one sense, but externally for this Leela, we can see that Krishna, first time entering Vrindavan, Maharaj was telling, after 100 years, Krishna was entering in Vrindavan. And he took bath at Vishnu Ghat. There is one Vishnu Ghat, and he rested. And while Krishna was resting, one very small, elderly person, cowherd boy, he was passing through. He was a villager of Vrindavan, and he was passing. And Krishna told him, my village is also nearby. Are you from the same village? He said, yes, I am from the same village. And he started crying. And Krishna also started crying along with this, cowherd boy. And immediately Krishna told Daruka, now we will enter in the Brajabhumi. So after 100 years, Krishna was entering. And this description come by various commentaries of Acharya. I never heard, and I thought we have to contemplate on this, that just when Brajavasis has gratitude, that gratitude attract the mercy of Krishna. It's not that when Krishna gone, he never come back. Krishna came back just for the love and gratitude. So Krishna first time blow his conch shell Panchajanya. We heard that. What is that? Devadatta Dhananjaya. What is that shloka? Panchajanya Rishikesha, Devadatta Dhananjaya, Soundram Maha. What is that? Poundram Dadmo Mahashanko Bhima Karma Vrukodara. So when Krishna blew the Panchajanya conch shell, the Vrajavasi felt the same joy as Krishna plays his flute. Generally the Panchajanya conch shell, they shatter the heart of Kaurava, all Kauravas, and it gives joys to all, Pandavas. When Krishna blew the same conch shell on, this Kurukshetra. But here when Krishna blew the conch shell, what happened? All Vrajavasis felt so much love, all cows, all gopis, all cowherd boys, girls, all elderly gopis, all elderly gopas, they were getting all the shrubs, herbs, Giri Govardhan, everybody was getting attracted towards Krishna's this, wonderful sound vibration created by Krishna. So that was their love for Krishna. And immediately the pastimes of Krishna, they were so much fresh in their mind, they're blossoming in their heart. And that was the love of Krishna of all Vrajavasis, But Krishna, here also, he was in the costumes of king. He is having bow, he is having conch shell, he is having very, like Daruka and Krishna, both were dressed in the costumes of Dwarka, like city costumes, and they were entering in the Vraja. So everybody recognized the love of Krishna. Every cow, they thought that Krishna is calling me. Every gopi thought Krishna is calling me. And everybody, every shrubs, herbs, every tree, Yamuna, everybody thought that Krishna is calling me personally when they heard this Panchajanya, uh, uh, I mean, conch shell, the sound of Panchajanya. So, uh, so, so it is said that, Maharaj was telling that we say sometime how we lack in a gratitude. He was telling, Rupa Goswami says the highest spiritual realm abode in this planet is Mathura Mandal. And within Mathura Mandal, highest is 12 forest of Vrindavan. Within 12 forest of Vrindavan, Giri Govardhan. And within Giri Govardhan is a Shamakund. And sometime on the bank of Shamakunda also, we are sitting with our spiritual master, chanting with our spiritual master. But if we don't have gratitude, we don't have gratitude, the Maya can enter anytime actually. So I very harshly heard from some of my senior that one should be very careful being with Maharaj or being with our own spiritual master also. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves why I am close to my Guru, why I am very close to this sannyasi, why I am close to this Swami. Is that, I am just enjoying their presence so that other people will know that I am very important person being with them. I am very sorry, but I heard this as it is. And it was for me because I also near Chandra Sarovar got some association of Chandramoli Maharaj. He was half an hour, 45 minutes speaking about his Japan preaching plan. And I was introducing some devotee who learned the Japanese language, Marathi devotee, and how he's preaching. Vishwambar Prabhu is preaching in Japan, translating all literature in Japanese language. Maharaj was so pleased. So after some time, I felt I should not, sit here because all Pune Vasis, they're observing what we are talking. So I thought this is not Krishna consciousness. If I stay just beyond 45 minutes here, so that signal comes most of the time, and we should identify that signal actually. Why I am with the sannyasi, why I am with the great personality, is that I am enjoying their association or actually I am serving them, and I got left and right many times in my life about that. My many senior devotees, when I was with some exalted personalities, after that, I got left and right. How we should take the association. It is not enjoyment, so that entire world is looking, and I am just, just impressing the people. The association is not like that. We have to, be beggar in that association. We should be servant of such exalted personalities. The association is not for enjoyment, actually. So one has to again and again check our heart. In Vrindavan also this thing happen. We are chanting with our Guru Maharaj in front of Tulsi plant, but any thought will come in our mind, having the best association in the world with 10,000 devotees. We are chanting on our beads, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling in one of his reel that the Maya can come on the deathbed also. We are pure devotee, we are thinking we are pure. But on the deathbed also, Krishna will give that option. And he said that is the love of Krishna for us. Krishna is not, Krishna is such a lover. He never forced that consciousness upon us. Krishna is such a lover. He is not force that sentiment upon us. He give us a chance, always give us option till deathbed. That's what I was telling Monday. One of my friend was dying. He called me and he was telling, Prabhu, do you know what is happening? Entire world is glorifying me, becoming in ashram, and now I am chanting many rounds. But I am telling you, at this deathbed, I am thinking about the beautiful nurses in this hospital. I am not thinking about Krishna. I'm sorry to tell you, Niskinchan Nitai Das. This is my consciousness. So I'm sorry to tell you here, but this may happen at a deathbed also if you are not cautious. This is for me. I'm talking about myself actually. So that much Maya is so powerful. But now, so this is the, of course, orchestration of Yoga Maya when Krishna is entering. So Krishna wants to immediately, Krishna told Devaki, sorry, not Devaki, Yashoda Mai. So he said, where are my costumes, cowherd costumes? Please bring me again, bring me. I want to herd the cows tomorrow. And Yashoda Mai immediately removed all costumes of Krishna and she started decorating Krishna with a costume. And there was from her breast, there is pouring of that love in the form of milk. And she was constantly thinking that my little Krishna is with me. Even Nanda Baba was thinking, little Krishna is with me. Maharaj was telling that Yashoda Mai was observing all those wounds in the body of Krishna he might have got by fighting with all these demons. When in Vrindavana, he killed many demons. There was no, mark on Krishna's body. But when Krishna went out of Mathura, he said, nobody is caring Krishna, like me. So Yashodamati Mata was thinking. So that's what so many wounds on the bodies of Krishna. And she was thinking. So she was thinking, these are the wounds of Kurukshetra war and so many things, She was thinking about his little Krishna. And Krishna immediately told Daruka, please get Dauji Bhaiya right now and Mother Rohini. So this Maharaj was telling, in fraction of second, this Daruka went on the speed of mind and he brought Dauji and, Mother Rohini. And Balaram was crying by saying the love of all Brajavasis for Krishna. And he also told, he immediately removed his costume and got those costumes, costumes of coward boys. And the next day, early morning, with all the cows, Krishna called all the cows by his flute. And again, every cow thought that Krishna is reciprocating with us. And they never thought 100 years passed. They thought yesterday only Krishna was with us. And today also Krishna is with us. That was consciousness of them. Because in that separation also, they were feeling that union. In extent, when separation is too much separation, one feel that union also. Like in our Prabhupada palace, what happened is the day when Prabhupada was passing, every devotee in the palace of gold, when they were doing 24 hours kirtan, so many devotee told, Yugal Kishapu was telling that, many devotee told, we are feeling that Prabhupada is with us. So when there is a too much separation, there is an experience of union in bhakti. So that is the glory of bhakti actually. In this material world, it will never happen. Separation means separation. There is no union. So, yeah, so there was a massive celebration, when Krishna came, they started feeding Krishna and everybody was absorbed. And Krishna made the gopis. I don't have qualification to talk about this subject matter. That's what I talk about, this Balya Lila of Yashoda and Krishna. So Krishna met all his coward boys, gopis, boyfriend, girlfriends. He went to Govardhan mountain and perform his pastime again. After 100 years, he was returning. So this was the Leela. And before establishing this Leela, Maharaj talked too much about gratitude. Which gratitude? The Vena lacked that gratitude. Ashwatthama lacked that gratitude. And if we lack that gratitude, we never have experience of Krishna consciousness. It becomes just dry, everything become a dry. Externally look like everything happening very smoothly, but we cannot connect to Krishna consciousness if we are lacking in the gratitude. And in Prabhupada, all the disciples of Prabhupada, when they talk on the, disappearance day of Prabhupada, most of them, they were expressing their gratitude for Srila Prabhupada. Those stories we heard many times. Now, 20 times maybe we were attending the same program, but they were ever fresh, those stories of Srila Prabhupada, because they themselves experiences, Prabhupada disciple or grand disciples of Prabhupada, whatever they experience with Prabhupada, because they have that gratitude. And when you have gratitude, that subject matter is ever fresh in the heart, and it can touch the heart of other people also when we just repeat those things, pastimes of Prabhupada. And that's what we completely experience on the foothills of Govardhan Hill. It's so nice to be at Govardhan Hill. My God, Brajavasi has so much bhakti. Small girl, my my other partner was a Bombay devotee. He was only 3 days with me. Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu made an arrangement to stay in that one hotel. So he thought I am very austere. Because I never got a chance to meet him. I was going in bathroom, he was sleeping, I was going out, then he was going in bathroom. So we were never meeting each other, and we were keeping the key in the reception. So he thought I am very austere, and he was telling other, yeah, America से I बहुत austere है. मैंने बोला, प्रभु, this is the effect of jet lag. You know, he was seeing me getting at 1 o'clock. I saw Hemangi Mataji, 3 o'clock she was running toward that. That is consciousness. She was, such enthusiastically going to Krishna Balaram Mandir to attend the first Aarti of Srila Prabhupada. Very, very, actually, wonderful. That is the expression of gratitude for Prabhupada. And most of you, I heard that some of you went to Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir on the day of disappearance day of Prabhupada in that room and chanted. So that was so amazing, actually. So that's what I wanted to speak. Just to summarize about Nita, how their characters were completely different. One is pure devotee, and one is, just imitating the father's, the only cruel side of that activity, not knowing the intention of Yamaraj. And what happened is the Vena born, who lacked complete gratitudes about the sages, and he did not listen to the sages and started, harassing the people. The Vena, when he was a small boy, when he go out, he was killing the children. One thing is that, pinching somewhere, poking the nose or something, or, pulling the ear. But another thing is killing. Such a danger child, right? He's going out killing and telling, Mama, I killed 2 boys today. Killed, that was King Vena. And such a cruel person. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk, because it is 9:20. I'm sorry. It is overtime. I mean, already 20 minutes more. So thank you for your patience. I don't have qualification at all. I just thought to repeat what we heard so that we can contemplate it more days. In jet lag, it is very difficult, I'm completely, if you see me, if you ask me, I'm completely filled with sleep. Completely filled. Some or other, I'm struggling to speak with you. I slept six hours actually in this jet lag. Jet lag is very, I mean, this is worst thing in my life. I don't know all these sannyasis, how they manage the jet lag from one country to other country, one country to other country. They never complain. They're ready for the program immediately. That is the glory of our all acharyas, So we cannot imitate them. So, yeah. So I cannot make that show that I'm not in jet lag. I'm completely in jet lag. you know. So thank you so much for your patience listening. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Lord Bhaktarunda ki jai. Anybody want to add anything? I'm sorry, I did not ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences from Yatra.